What's up, Mr. G here, and in this video we're going to go through Multiview 10.4. So it looks something like this. You've got a title block with the front, top, and side view of an object, and I've got the isometric view down here on the canvas page. I'm going to go ahead and right click this and save the image as, and bring up AutoCAD to one side and the image to the other. I think this is on a regular size title block. I guess we'll draw a little bit and see. But I need to divide my title block up into 3 equal parts. In order to do that, I'm going to draw a line going across like this, and then I'm going to use the divide command. If I type in divide, click the line, it'll ask me to enter the number of segments. I'm going to type 3, and then what that does is it makes these little dots. They're called node object snaps. So if I go to object snap and turn on node, it'll allow me to snap onto those. So essentially I just divided a line into 3 equal segments and then drew lines going through the nodes that it created. Alright. Okay, so starting with the front view, here I'll draw it out in space. Alright, so I'm going to start with the rectangle that's looks like 3 on the bottom. Make sure ortho's on. 3 by 5.5. Okay, and then I've got, let's zoom out a little bit. I've got a dimension from the bottom that says I've got 2 circles that start 1.5 inches from the bottom. So to place those, I'm just going to draw a line 1.5 inches going up from the bottom. And then the size of these circles, the dimensions for them are over here on the side view. If I bring back up this, you could see the circle right here. So that's what I'm looking at on the side view. So the size of the circles are diameter 2 and diameter 1. So I'll make those like that. And then this stuff at the top here, we'll come to that in a second. I'll go ahead and put these center lines in. They're just marking the center of where these 2 circles are. So I'll change my layer to center. And then just draw a line coming from the center of the circle up. I'm looking to see about how long that is. Looks like 1.2. So I'll draw 4 lines, all coming from the center, that are 1.2. They don't show up center. Let's see if I take both of these and join them. That looks better. So the center line type doesn't show up unless the line's long enough. So joining these after the fact makes it kind of look like it does in the picture. If you want, you can change your line type scale to something smaller by typing LTS enter. Let's try 0.5. Looks like 0.5 is what I used whenever I created this, so I'll go with that. Alright, moving up to the top, I've got some hidden lines. The hidden lines are showing this feature back here. I've got some center lines that are 1 5/8 apart. So let's start with this hidden line at the bottom because I have a nice dimension for it that says 5/8. So I'll just use offset 5/8 and offset this top line down 5/8, and then I'll change that to a hidden line. And then to approach this, let's see the best way to do that without having to do much math. I think let's change my layer to like notes or something. If I just draw a line that's 1 5/8 and then move that line to the top there, that'll give me these center line locations, and I can just, guess I might as well change my layer to center. I can just draw a center line going down a bit. I'm going to move it up so that it looks better. Maybe something like that. And then just take this and copy it to the other side. So that's telling me where the centers of these 2 circles are here. Again, if I go back to the isometric view, it's telling me that these are 1 5/8 apart. Okay, the circles themselves are a diameter of 5/8. That's what these hidden lines are showing. So if the diameter is 5/8, that means from one side to the next, all the way across from here to here, needs to be 5/8. So I should be able to just offset half of that, which is 5/16. So if I offset 5/16 to the left and right on both of these center lines, that'll give me the locations of the edges of the circles. So I'm just going to trim them down. And then convert them to hidden lines. Looks pretty good, I think. Actually, is that right? 5/8 would be the diameter. 5/16 would be the radius, and that's how far I offset. So this would not be 5/8. Wait, is that 5/8? Yeah, that's 5/8. I'm going to check my dim style just to make sure I didn't do something wrong. Let's see. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, sorry. Thought I might have done something wrong there. All right, from there, I think the easiest one to do next would be the side view, and then I'll go to the top view after that. So from the side view, essentially it lines up with this front view, so I'll draw a line kind of out here somewhere. I'm looking at this dimension right there, it's 2. Let me change my layer. Okay, and since this stuff lines up, I know that this is going to be 5/8 here, so I'll go ahead and draw that one in. And then the whole height of my object from here going all the way down is 5.5, so I'll go ahead and make that. And then I come in 5/8. And then these lines just come up until they touch each other. So easiest way to do that is to just draw 2 short lines and use the fillet tool to fillet them to come to a point. Then this little box shape is this circle getting protruded out of the base. So I really can just draw a line from here going over and here going over, the width of which needs to be 1. So I could take this front face and offset it 1, and that'll essentially be my white box. I'll use fillet to create those corners and trim that and that, so it sticks out an inch from the base. Let's see. Alright, then I've got center lines again. I can just take this center line and copy it straight over. And then I can draw, actually I can use, if I use object snap tracking, I can just hover my mouse over here for a second and then go over, click a point there and click a point there. Same on the bottom, hover on the bottom quadrant, go over to there, and those will be hidden lines. Okay, that's marking where, or showing where that circle goes through the object. And this is that circle itself, the base. Okay, on the top, let's see, I've got a center line here, and then these are my 5/8 offsets here from the same circles that exist on the top. So the hard part about this is knowing where to put that center line. It looks like it's, if this radius right here is 11/16, then this should probably be offset 11/16 in order to get that in the correct place. I'll use MA to match properties of this to a center line, and then I'll use scale to just scale this up until it looks good, like that. Then I'll use offset 5/8, sorry, offset 5/16, because 5/8 is the radius. Trim those off and convert those to hidden. Okay, I think that's all for the side view. Go ahead and move that over a little bit. And actually, I want to do that. For the top view, it's going to go right above the front view because everything should kind of line up. So what do I know about this? I know that this top here to here is 2, so that means from here to here is 2. So what I'll do is I'll just start by making a box that's 2 by 3. That gives me this whole shape. The radius of this curve is 11/16, so I'll use fillet radius 11/16 to create those curves. Slide it up a little. And then I've got circles that are diameter 5/8. They go in the same center as the fillet. Then I've got an offset here of 5/8 with a hidden line. So I'll just offset that up, use MA enter to match another hidden to that hidden. Got some center lines showing the center of these circles. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but I'll just copy this other center line thing up to there and then scale it down until it kind of appears like a center line. And I'm not typing in like a measurement when I'm scaling it down. I'm just moving my mouse until it looks good and then click. So that looks good there. Then I've got a center line showing the center of the circle. I can just take this and copy it up to about there. I guess I should probably do this part, this here that's sticking out. Again, it's 1 and it's showing this circle that's below it. So let's see if I can do this. If I hover from the quadrant and then go all the way up to here and then come down 1. The size of the circle was 2, so I just go over 2 and then back up 1. I've already got my center line in there. These next 2 hidden lines are showing where this circle is, so I'm just taking that, using object snap tracking to track it up. And those are hidden lines, so I'll do MA enter to get that. This line looks a little long to me. I'm a little scale it down a bit. Maybe something like that. Okay, that's my top view. I'll go ahead and place them in here where they go before I put the dimensions on. That way I don't have to like edit the dimensions afterwards. So my front view, I'll make a line going down like that. From here, I'll use object snap tracking again to track both of those endpoints and go there to there. And for this one, object snap tracking again when I'm drawing these lines, hovering over those endpoints for a second to get them to track to there. All right. Front view goes first. It looks like that doesn't fit very well. Wonder if I have any. Probably need to change this to say how much I scale the title block up by. Alright, so I just moved them back out by undoing. I wonder if I scale this up by, let's try 1.5. That looks too large. Alright, let's undo that. Let's do scale by 1.25. It's probably what I used. Let's see. I think that works. I don't like that either. Make sure this is 11. Yep. Okay. How about 1.3? Just want to make sure I have enough room for my dimensions, so maybe I should put a couple dimensions on. Man, that's cramped. Maybe 1.5 wasn't wrong. That seems wrong. guess I'm going with that. All right, 1.5 for the scale. Erasing all that. All right, going to swap over to dimensions and add those on. 1 5/8, 5 1/2. Go ahead and get all my linears done. Then I'll come back. I'm going to scale this down a bit so it doesn't interfere with my one. Okay. I'm going to change the name of this. I'm going to call it 10.4. I'll leave that for now. Okay. So I think that's it for the top, front, and side views. I guess I'll go ahead and label these up. I don't know if I like it down here, but I guess we'll do it down here. Okay, so that should be it. Just checking everything again real quick, make sure I got everything okay. Looks like my dim style was a little bit different. I used above on these down here, but I think I like the new way better, so I'll keep it like that. All right, so on to the isometric view, which looks like this. I'll go ahead and save that image. Okay, so we'll turn isometric drafting on. Ortho is already on, and it's all the same measurements, so it's just a matter of breaking it down. I'll do this front face first. That was 3 by 5 1/2. Let me change my layer. 3, 5 1/2, 3, 5 1/2, and then morning. This had a depth of 5/8. Actually, I wonder if I can do the top first. I could go back to, so these rounded parts are going to come later. I'm just going to imagine like everything's a block. So this will be 2 and then 5/8 down. So we'll go back 2 and then 3 and 2. We'll go down our 5/8. We'll go back our 5/8, and then I'll just do the same thing I did when I was drawing it on the side view. Draw little lines and then fillet them. Make sure you fillet them with a radius of 0. So they go like that. Okay. So the circles that exist here was 1 1/2 up from there. I'm going to do my ellipse. Make sure you click ISO circle. F5 if you need to flip it. And the size was 1 diameter and 2 diameter. So I'm going to click diameter down here and type 2. Then do the same thing again. click diameter down here and type 1. So there's my circles. Now, really, you can only see this one, but I went ahead and made both of them because I'm going to use the move tool to move them. Make sure you're going this direction down and to the left isometrically, and it protrudes out. I think it was an inch. Yeah, an inch. So I'm going to move them out an inch. Actually, I'm going to copy them out an inch. Copy them 1 inch. This circle goes away, and then I can draw a line from the quadrants here on the top, like that, to kind of make it look like it's protruding out, and then I can trim all the stuff that really isn't visible anymore. I have to zoom in a bit, get some of these stragglers. It should look like that. Okay. This curve right here, so fillet, like your instinct is probably like, yeah, I can just fillet that, but when you're drawing isometric, you can't use the fillet tool because fillets orthographically. It's only for like top, front, and side views. So what you have to do is create a circle and then copy it down kind of the same way I did this and the same way we did with like the dice project. So if my radius was 11/16 for this curve, make it red here so you can understand. What you want to do is draw a line 11/16 that way and then 11/16 that way. Same on this corner. So I've got those lines there, and that marks the center of both my radius here and those circles. So then I draw my ellipse, and I never click up here to do ellipse. If you want to do it faster, I usually type ELL enter, and then if you notice this I is blue on isocircle, so then I type I enter, and then that gets me right into isocircle. So your first circle is going to be 11/16, ELL enter, I enter, click there again, and that gives me essentially the fillet curve there and there. Now this one on this corner, it's just trim and you're basically done because there's not a curve down here because this blocks it. So then you can just do ellipse enter, I enter again, and put in this one, which I believe was diameter 5/8. So that one's done. But on this side, actually I'll go ahead and copy this over because it's the same on this side. Okay, but on this side, that curve kind of goes all the way down. So we take this and we copy it, CO enter, and we copy it straight down, whatever the thickness of this was, which is 5/8. And then we draw a line from quadrant to quadrant and trim all the extra stuff off. And that's it for the isometric. So for the isometric, we'll just take this, copy paste, kind of goofed there. Move this a bit. Go ahead and put my X in. Find the bottom, find the side. Okay, to find this left edge, you won't be able to snap to it. You'll have to draw a line going out isometrically until it hits that edge right there. It's kind of a pain. Okay, there's my box for centering it. I'll add the word isometric on that. Okay, and on this we'll just make 2 PDFs, and I think we'll be able to attach them both to the Canvas assignment, and that's it.